Scotland's serial killers. Robert Black. He was the stuff of parental nightmares. A lonely delivery driver with the heart of a cold-blooded predator. Robert Black travelled the length and breadth of the UK in a seemingly harmless job that masked his insatiable appetite for young girls. On the surface, he was just another man in a van. Beneath it all, he was a monster hunting children. Born in Grangemouth in 1947, Black was fostered out early. He never knew his real parents. He spent his childhood bouncing between homes and institutions where he was branded as difficult, defiant and damaged. He developed an obsession with young children in his early teens, and by adulthood, he'd served time for sexually assaulting a girl. But the signs were ignored. In his 30s, Black progressed from petty theft to depravity. Methodical and invisible, he would watch playgrounds, follow parents on school runs and stalk quiet lanes. He would sit in his van for hours, casting routes, logging routines, waiting for a moment to strike. In 1981, his first known killing spree began. 9-year-old Jennifer Cardy disappeared from her quiet village, Ballinderry, County Antrim in Northern Ireland. Her body was found 6 days later, dumped in a remote lay-by near a reservoir 16 miles from her home. The community was stunned, but Black had already moved on. A predator without a conscience, he struck again and again. Over the next 4 years, he abducted and murdered at least 3 more girls. Susan Maxwell, 11 from the Scottish borders, Caroline Hogg, 5 from Portobello near Edinburgh, and Sarah Harper, 10 from Leeds. The pattern was chilling. The victims were young, alone, and vanished without warning until their bodies turned up miles from home, dumped like rubbish. Black crisscrossed Britain as a delivery driver, blending in unnoticed. Inside that van was a mobile prison. Police would later find ropes, handcuffs, pornography, a sleeping bag, likening it to a torture chamber on wheels. He used it to stalk, snatch, and abuse with terrifying efficiency. For years, he escaped detection. At one point, he was questioned by police after being spotted in an area where a girl had vanished, but there was no evidence to link him to any crimes. He moved on, and the killings continued. In the hunt for Black, detectives were forced to trawl through thousands of files by hand, a slow, grueling process that exposed major cracks in cross-border policing. The case helped trigger the development of the Holmes system, designed to track serious crimes across forces. Too late to stop Black, but vital in catching the next predator who might use the same vanishing act. His reign of terror came crashing down in July 1990. In the village of Stow in the Scottish borders, retired postmaster David Herkes saw a blue transit van slow down to a stop and the driver exit to clean his windscreen. As Herkes stooped to clear grass cuttings from his lawnmower, he saw the girl's feet lifting from the pavement. Realising he'd witnessed an abduction, he noted the registration number and ran to the little girl's house to alert her parents and the police. Minutes later, as the van drove in their direction, an officer stood in its path, forcing the driver to halt. The father of the abducted girl opened the rear doors to find his 6-year-old daughter bound and gagged in a sleeping bag. This time, Robert Black was caught red-handed. His DNA and vehicle matched several open cases. As detectives combed his past, more horrors emerged. In 1994, Black was convicted of the murders of Susan Maxwell, Caroline Hogg, and Sarah Harper. He was already serving time for the attempted abduction of the Stow girl. Later, he was found guilty of killing Jennifer Cardy, but Black took his secrets to the grave. He's been linked to a dozen more disappearances, unsolved cases stretching from the UK to France, Ireland, and mainland Europe. Police believe the true scale of his crimes may never be known. In prison, Black was isolated and despised. He was attacked more than once and kept in solitary confinement for his own safety. He showed no remorse, refused to confess to other killings, and remained largely silent in the face of police appeals. He died in 2016 in Magaberry Prison in Northern Ireland, aged 68. No family claimed his body. There was no funeral, and his ashes were disposed of at sea. The name Robert Black still casts a shadow today. He was the monster in the van, the man no one suspected, the predator who moved unnoticed for years.